get this show started, man. We back in the building. Y'all already know the vibes. Smash that like button, that thumbs up. Ain't gonna hurt your feelings. Ain't gonna cost you. Ain't gonna do none of that. That junk is absolutely free. But we got to talk about this topic that I wanted to touch on a while back. But we was all hooked on that Diddy trial, Diddy case, all that crap, whatever. But we back. I want to talk about this Tupac complex. Now, shout out to Complex. Shout out to them. But they put a list out with the best, I guess, West Coast rappers from LA, whatever. And they absolutely didn't even have Tupac on the list. Yeah, I'm gonna sit back and wait on that. I mean, like for real. I'm gonna sit back and wait. And I'm an East Coast nigga. You get what I'm saying? And we all know Tupac was born in New York. We're gonna talk about this. But see, this is a clip where Tupac actually spoke about that. I was born in Harlem. I went to Oakland. I did this, I did that. But he really said when he said if any place say he's gonna stamp where he's from, he said he's gonna claim the West Coast, and that's in the Bay Area. But even Tupac said that himself, coming out of his own mouth. And we're gonna get to that. But my thing is, how the hell y'all not gonna have Tupac on the top 50 list of LA best rappers? When he bled LA. He when you think about Tupac, you think about LA. You don't think about New York. Yo, Tupac. You don't think about, he's from New York. We don't think about that. And all my East Coast New York niggas, tri-state, all that. They all know I'm speaking facts. When we think about Tupac, we think about LA, Death Row. That's the Tupac we think about. Even though the was born in New York, but he laid his foundation of hip hop in the West Coast with Digital Underground. People forgot about that. Y'all forgot about that. Y'all forgot what Digital Underground is from. Like, what are we talking about here? Tupac is a West Coast nigga. Was born in New York, but he bled the West Coast. And when he wrecked LA, that nigga ride for LA like no other. And we're gonna talk about this because Jim Jones actually spoke about this also. We're gonna go through a couple other clips that somebody, just a regular lady spoke about this, and she actually had a point about this. LA, West Coast, been repping Tupac for 30 years since he been dead. And a lot of shout out to the West Coast. This is no disrespect. The West Coast know that shit is straight BS on that list. They should have had Tupac on that list because everybody in the West Coast know they love Tupac also. That part, man. Let's talk about this because this is nasty work, man. I mean, Complex, y'all out of pocket. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video. Let's get this show started. Yo, 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 yo. If they know, they know. It's your boy Smoke Loose TV. We back in the building. Smash that thumbs up. It ain't gonna hurt your feelings. It ain't gonna cost you. That junk is absolutely free. Make sure you share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I don't know what you're waiting on. What are you waiting on? Make sure you keep that notification bell on so you know when I'm dropping my video. Shout out to Team Smoke Gang. Try to get your membership. Shout out to all my subscribers from day one and now. Appreciate all the love, man. Let's get this copyright out the way. Copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find that in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here, absolutely for educational and entertainment purpose. Again, copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find that in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here, absolutely for educational and entertainment purpose. The clips and videos I play are also owned by the original creators. Now, if y'all don't know what's going on, let me pop the list on for y'all, man. Because when I seen this, man, this is nasty work right here. Check that out. Now, y'all see Corrupt there, right? Corrupt not even from LA, that part. That nigga was born in Philly. Do I gotta sit back and wait on that? Corrupt from Dog Pound is born in Philly. If you're gonna say Tupac from New York, you might as well say Corrupt from Philly. And Tupac laid a way bigger name and a bigger legacy in LA than anybody besides the NWA and all that. But come on, man. When Tupac came in the game and he went to LA, man, he bombed on niggas, man. Tupac put LA on his back. How the hell Complex not gonna have Tupac on his list right here, bro? How? And then they got Kendrick Lamar number one. Let me take this out. Pardon me. They got Kendrick number one, and Snoop Dogg number two, Dr. Dre number three. On Ice Cube number three, Dr. Dre number four. Tyler the Creator, number 5. DJ Quick, number 6. Ice T, number 7. They got B Real, number 8. Easy E, number 9. Nipsey Hustle, number 10. Rest in peace to my boy Nip. Y'all already know the vibes, man. We got the game. I feel like the game should be a little. I feel like the game should be in the top 10 instead of 11. I'm gonna keep it real, because not for nothing, the game he put LA on his back, and the game can rap. I'm not gonna take that away from the game. The game can absolutely rap. I mean, the game got balls, man. So shout out to the game over there in the West Coast, because he should be in the top 10. If anybody, I'll put the game in. I'll take Tyler the Creator out and put the game in there, or I'll take B Real out and put the game in there. That's just my decision. Then you got MC8. You got Corrupt. That's not even from LA. Nigga he from Philly. But anyway, y'all want to say that Tupac ain't from LA. He from New York. Corrupt ain't from LA either. He from Philly. And it's a couple other people on this list not even from LA County. That's the crazy part about it. But see, I ain't got nothing wrong with the certain people on the list. You got Tiger in there, Doja Cat. You got Daz, like, and you don't got no Tupac, bro. Just look at this list, y'all. I want y'all to light one up clearly. Whatever y'all doing, look at the list, man. Just look at it. Ain't this some disrespectful shit right here? Now, people gonna say, nah, they might got Tupac on the top 50 New York. They don't got Tupac in the top 50 New York either. Because, like I said, once again, I'm gonna continue saying it. When you think about Tupac, you thinking about the West Coast. You don't think about Tupac laying his foundation in New York. I'm just keeping it real. When we think about Tupac, we think about LA. Which I'm gonna bring up? Juice. Nah, yo, Tupac did Juice. He did the movie. He did Juice and this and that. And nah, man, when you think about Tupac, you think about live and die in LA, nigga. That's what we think about. Am I lying? I sit back and wait on that. We think about live and die in LA. Yeah, we think about all that shit. We think about all them LA hits that Tupac was out there banging on niggas on. Tupac is LA all day. Tupac is West Coast all day. Tupac was born in New York, laid his ground a little bit in New York, but he didn't really lay a legacy in New York in the hip hop. Ain't nobody bumping no old ass Tupac when he was in New York. I'm just sorry to tell y'all. When we bumping Tupac on that Apple Music, when in our car or whatever, we bumping that Tupac from the West Coast. We not bumping no Tupac when he was in New York. We was bumping Nas. We bumping that. We bumping the real. Listen, Tupac is a born native New York nigga. I don't take that away from him. Rest in peace to Pac. Rest in peace to Big. One of the two greatest. But like I'm gonna continue goddamn saying, when we think about Tupac and we playing his music in our car while we riding around the highway, the streets, whatever the hell y'all doing out there, y'all bumping that Death Row Tupac. That's what y'all bumping. West Coast Tupac. Y'all not going back 90, 91, and 92 when he had a few tracks when he was out here in New York. Niggas wasn't even hearing that shit. Niggas wasn't even hearing that shit. He laid his foundation in hip hop when he landed in LA. And he went crazy and dropped all them albums before he died. And if Tupac never would have died, his ass would have still been repping LA. And I'm lying, I sit back and wait on that. Shout out to my West Coast niggas. Tap in and tell me I'm lying. If Tupac would have never died, that nigga would have still been repping LA to the day he passed away. So how the hell Complex ain't gonna have that man up on the top 50, man? That shit is bogus to me right there. But let's get to the clips, man. Let's get to Jim Jones talking about this situation. And he spoke about this, and I feel Jimmy on this. They straight disrespected Tupac on this note. Let's get to it. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel.
You so
Nah, that's real talk. But I want to ask you about this list going around. Have you seen it? It's the 50 best LA rappers of all time, and they love Tupac off the list.
well, that's people just hating on them from the West Coast, and I don't believe it's the actual fans from the West Coast. I just be thinking it's like hating ass rappers and industry. Because clearly, Pac put on for the West Coast more than anybody has probably put on for the West Coast, and left a legacy for the West Coast to follow to this day. And not saying that they don't have no other big rapper. Shout out to Snoop Dogg, that was one of my favorite rappers, but clearly, to live and die in LA, Pac went out there and really put on for that town. You heard? And I do believe that was kind of whack of them to not even give him an honorable mention if they feel like he wasn't from LA, so he shouldn't deserve to be on a list, but he put on for LA more than most of the people on that list. He helped shape the music in LA. Not saying that NWA and all these people, yeah, but when it came to the era of the kids like me that was listening to it, we wanted to go to LA because of Pac. You heard? Remember DPG and all that had happened already. Pac came after that. Pac started putting a whole new flavor on this shit. We wanted to go there. You heard? After we saw Boys in the Hood and all that type of shit, we started getting open off LA, then Pac just started opening it up to a whole nother level of shit. You heard? Like, that's what we know. We know Pac for West Coast shit. You heard? Built out, went to LA and went crazy. I don't know him from no other place. I know they'd be like he was from the.
And we're gonna continue. But Jimmy Wright, shout out to Jim Jones, shout out to Jim, man. Jim, you know I rock with you, but sometimes I gotta, when you be on your BS, like this on this interview, you kept that shit 100. Absolutely, because we all know we all Tupac fans. I'm a Tupac fan, but come on, let's be for real, man. Niggas ain't really get in tune with Tupac till he landed out there in LA, man. When that nigga bailed out and he went out there to death row and went out there and started rocking with Suge Knight, he started bombing on the industry, bombing on them because he had Dr. Dre on them beats. You see, you got to think about it. When you get the right beats and the right beats match your voice and match what you saying, you're going to bomb. You're going to drop nothing but hits. So when Tupac ended up meeting Dr. Dre, when he bailed out, that nigga started going crazy. So what I'm trying to say here, though, we think about Tupac, and when we think about Tupac, we thinking of L.A. Tupac. We ain't thinking about no goddamn Juice, New York Tupac. We ain't thinking about that. Now we thinking about the movie Juice. Yeah, you know Tupac, he from New York, this and that. You know what I mean? Okay, but when we talking about bars, hip hop, laying down a legacy and hip hop before he left, people still playing his music to this day, and he's not even here. Put the whole county on his back, the whole West Coast on his back. Started bombing on the East Coast by his goddamn self. Do I gotta repeat myself again? Whoever done that? Whoever done that? A nigga that listen, let me listen, and I'm taking nothing away from the West Coast. Snoop Dogg was first album I brought when I was a kid, man. That was the first album I brought when Snoop Dogg dropped that first album. Man, I went downtown, man, hand my money to one of them old heads. Them niggas came out with that album. I went crazy. That was the first album I would listen to, was the Snoop Dogg album. Because we can't take nothing away. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, them niggas had a nasty run in the early 90s. The whole East Coast was listening to them niggas. Am I lying? I sit back on that. So I'm not taking away nothing away from Snoop, none of that shit. But let's be for real here. Let's be for real. When that bald headed nigga right there, that bugged out nigga, that hyper drilling energy crazy, when he landed up there in the West Coast, when he bailed out from Clinton up in upstate New York, when Suge Knight went and got him, and he went to the West Coast, what the hell did we get? We got the best Tupac we ever got in our goddamn life, because to this day, ain't no females bumping no New York Tupac. Some of these females don't even know Tupac got some songs when he was in New York. Some youngins probably don't even know that shit either. They not listening to that shit. They going to All Eyes on Me, Machiavelli. They going to all that classic shit that was in Death Row. So for Complex to leave that man out that list, y'all straight up disrespectful as hell. If y'all want to keep Kendrick in the top one, okay, y'all could have did that. But come on, y'all supposed to have put top Tupac at least in that top three. At least in that top three. If y'all want to play the games like that, because Tupac not from LA. It's a lot of people on that list that wasn't born in LA either. That part. And I sit back and wait on that. And Corrupt is one of them. That nigga was born all the way here, out here in the goddamn East Coast in Philadelphia before he landed out there in Cali. Corrupt. Ice-T, another nigga. Oh, Ice-T wasn't born out there in Cali. Ice-T from the East Coast. If I'm mistaken, now if I'm wrong on that, Commenting below. Somebody, not me, correct me on that. But I believe Ice-T is another one that wasn't born in Cali. Ice-T wasn't born in Cali. He wasn't born in LA. He landed in LA. If I am mistaken, I think Ice-T from Jersey or New York, either one. He's from the East Coast. Or he might be from Philly. I got to go back and search that. But I know for a fact Ice-T wasn't born in California. So it's a lot of people on that list that wasn't born in Cali. They wasn't born in LA and they still on that list. How the hell y'all not gonna have a nigga like that on not on y'all list that was bombing, that was repping LA to the day he died? Gave LA a different type of swag and all this type of shit. Am I lying? I sit back and wait on that. And this is respectfully. Let's continue with Jim talking about this situation, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. Like one up. Y'all know the vibe. Man, like one up for Pac, man. Y'all already know the vibes, man.
You started you were born in New York, and like you dig, that's cool. But what I know him for, what majority of people that of my age know him for, is for that West Side, that LA flush. So what number would he be if they could put him on the list? Is the question.
Me personally, he number one.
All right, so case closed. We ain't gotta talk about it no more.
So for you, you look at him as an LA artist because you got some people trying to push that, he a Harlem rapper narrative.
I mean, not saying he wasn't from Harlem, but he didn't have no footprint in Harlem. You heard? He didn't have no block in Harlem. It wasn't no hood that we knew Pac to be from. It wasn't like, you heard, he came to Harlem, got with a couple people from Harlem when he was doing movies like Above the Rim. He was over there by AK houses and all that shit, fucking with the homies and shit like that. But he didn't have no footprint in nowhere in New York. He knew people here, but he didn't came up hanging out in New York. So how could you dig? Like nobody's ever said, yo, Pac is from New York. Nobody ever claimed him like a New York nigga. The Bay was the first thing we would probably say before anything when we first learned about Pac. He was an artist from the Bay, Digital Underground. You heard? Then he came.
Thank you. So if we're gonna talk about Pac not being from LA, he rep Cali, period. And we're gonna get to a clip when Tupac said this shit out his own mouth. He rep the Bay, man. That's why people in the Bay like, man, they rep Tupac hard down there because Tupac lay. That's where he started at, down there in Oakland, down the Bay Area. And where's Oakland? Where's the Bay Area? In the goddamn state of California, the West Coast. And this is before he landed in Death Row. This is before Death Row. Yo, they straight up disrespected my dude, man, like for real. And I don't feel that. I really don't because New York top 50 list, they don't got Pac on there, which is right. They shouldn't have Tupac on the top 50 New York list because Tupac, they ain't laid no legacy out there. Tupac wasn't, we see Tupac from 125th in Harlem. He from, when you hear all about New York rappers, rest in peace, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Prodigy, rest in peace, Jim and them, Dipset, I mean, the Lox. We all know what blocks. We all know the corners they came from. We all know what part of New York they come from. We all know the area they come from. You can't say that about Tupac. Because Tupac was a renegade, nigga. That's what I'm trying to explain here. That nigga family was in the Black Panthers. They moved around a lot. His mom moved from New York. They went to Oakland. Y'all forgot when Black Panthers like, come on, what are we talking about here? His mom moved around. They was fighting the power and all this shit back in the 70s. I forgot. So they didn't have no time to sit back on 125th, lay down a foundation, grow some family, Tupac going to school. They didn't do that. Tupac was bouncing all over the place. That nigga went to school in New York. That nigga went to school out there in Baltimore. That nigga went to school in Cali. That nigga went to school everywhere. But he always said he really, where he got his swag at, where he got his knowledge and all that, and a little bit of, he say Oakland, California gave him that shit. He said he got a little bit from New York. I'm not taking nothing away. We're going to get to the clip when Tupac talking about that. He said he got a little bit of shit from New York and all that, but we talking about a foundation that he laid down in New York. Once Tupac got shot down there in New York in that studio, that nigga looked at New York like, man, I can't rock with y'all niggas. And if you look at the old Tupac pictures, you know, he's dressing like a New York nigga, but we talking about hip hop. I don't want to get people confused on, oh, yo, you see Tupac rolling with rest in peace Stretch. If anybody, listen, older niggas know who I'm talking about. This is a nigga named Stretch that Tupac used to roll with. He used to roll with Haitian Jack. He used to roll with all them niggas. These are Haitian Jack and them niggas, some kid, man. We talking about some real niggas from Brooklyn. Tupac was running around with Stretch, all types of niggas. Rest in peace to Stretch. Do y'all research on Stretch. He was an artist too out on the East Coast. We talking early 90s. Before 96, before 95, before 97. We talking early 90s. 90, 91, 92, and 93, and 94. This around that time when Tupac was in New York. Because I gotta remember, he was doing Juice Above the Rim. So in the early 90s, Tupac was still in New York at that time. But he was more of an actor. He wasn't laying that hip hop foundation down on bars and going back to an old Tupac album that he dropped when he was running around New York. No, no. The Tupac that we hear, as far as spitting on bars and rapping, West Coast Tupac all day, every day. The Tupac in New York, that's that actor Tupac. That's that Juice Tupac. That's Above the Rim Tupac. That's that Tupac. Dropped a few little tracks here and there while he was in New York, but he was more of an actor when he was in New York. I know my history. I know my history. Some people gonna say, nah, he was rapping too. I know he was rapping when he was in New York. That's how he met Big and all that shit. I know that. But I'm talking about laying a foundation down. Go back to an old ass New York on Tupac and tell me, is y'all still bumping that shit right now as we speak? Nope, y'all not. Because Tupac really started laying that shit down when he got out there to the West Coast. Let's cut the shenanigans out, man, for real. But let's continue. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel.
Movies, came to New York, got locked up in New York, they built him out, went to LA, started bombing. That's all we knew. We only knew him to be a West Coast nigga. When we started learning his story and then he was putting his shit in double XL and the vibe and all that is when we started to learn about he born on the East Coast and was living in Baltimore and you know what I mean? Like, I'm a real pop fan. I know a lot about him and shit like that, you dig? But what we know him for, it's that LA shit. It's that death row shit. You heard? To live and die in LA, bro.
And you used to see Pac walk around Harlem, right?
No, I saw Park one time. And I was on 125th Street, the same place I saw Big. You heard? It was on 125th Street. I saw Pac hanging out at Burgundy MPV. Word. Never forget it. Because I really f with him, so that shit really stuck with me to this day. Word.
Do y'all agree? Like I'm gonna continue. Let me repeat myself. Go back to the old Tupac New York days. Go listen to his tracks. Tell me if y'all getting jiggy with that shit, that part. Tell me if y'all really bouncing to y'all really hold up. It don't sound the same. It doesn't sound the same. Tupac was more of an actor, New York Tupac. He got two great movies when he was in New York, Above the Rim and Juice. That's why he stood in New York. But then when all that shit kicked off, they tried to rob him, shot him up. He got the hell up out of there. And who the Tupac legacy that we got after that? The music that we still bump to this day, the love that we got for Tupac, may him rest in peace. That's that LA Tupac. That's that West Coast Tupac that we love. We love New York Tupac off the movies. Let me repeat myself. We love Tupac over here in the East Coast off the movies. And then we love Tupac off the music that he started bombing on niggas when he got to the West Coast. That's the Tupac we love. We ain't talking about the Apocalypse and all this. Yeah, I think that's his first album, Apocalypse or some shit like that. Man, I wasn't getting. Tupac got a couple of tracks there. He got busy on that shit. I mean, Tupac got busy on a couple of tracks when he was out here in New York, but it don't compare to the shit he was bombing on when he was in the West Coast. So Complex, do better on that, man. Let's continue because y'all straight up played Pop. Pac bled LA. When we think about Tupac, we thinking about Death Row Tupac, LA Tupac. We ain't thinking about no other Tupac. And that nigga repped that shit to the day he died. And how disrespectful y'all niggas are for not putting that man on that goddamn list. Straight disrespectful. Let's continue. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, because we ain't done.
Straight. The West Coast, specifically LA, has been claiming Tupac for 30 plus years, aggressively claiming Tupac. He's been their king for 30 plus years. But all of a sudden, Complex Magazine, who is owned partially by UMG and Lucian Grange, have to come up with a 50 best LA rappers list. And all of a sudden, Tupac isn't West Coast? Who said Tupac ain't West Coast? I'm going to tell y'all what I think happened. This is just my opinion. I think UMG, aka Lucian Grange, went to Complex Magazine, who they partially own, and said to them, we need you to create an LA best rappers list, and Kendrick Lamar needs to be at the top of that list. So the folks over at Complex Magazine all sat down at a long conference table, and while they were at that table, they decided that they could not put Tupac under Kendrick Lamar. They knew that that's not where he belonged. They knew that he was not number 2. But they had to do what their boss, aka Daddy, said. They had to do what Lucian said and make Kendrick Lamar the number 1 rapper out of LA. They had to do that. But they simply could not, in good faith, put Tupac under Kendrick. So what do? They just decide that Tupac is no longer West Coast. But yet, when the New York City lists are made, as Jared Deontay, shout out Jared Deontay, as Jared Deontay pointed out, when the New York City lists are made, Tupac isn't on those lists. He's not. It's Biggie, it's Nas, it's Jay-Z. Tupac is not considered New York. Nobody even thinks.
Thank you. We're about to continue, but you heard at the end. Nobody don't consider Tupac when you scream, when you think about a New York rapper. You thinking about the actor Tupac. The Juice, Above the Rim. I mean, those are classics that I watch to this day. I mean, that nigga played a hell of a job of them playing them roles. I'm not going to take that away from Pac. But Pac was born in New York. Pac got that New York swag in. You know what I mean? But Pac is a West Coast nigga. He was in New York in his early years, man. People forget. People think that Tupac died when he was 30 or something. No, this nigga was like 24, 25 years old when he passed away. Him and Big was in their mid-20s when they passed away. Y'all think about that. Come on now. Now, back then when I was a kid, I thought that age is sad because growing up in the hood and you grow up in the ghetto and all that, you think 25, you don't know if you're gonna make it to that damn age. You thinking that shit is old. You thinking that's enough time for you to live. Them boys was kids when they died. 25, 24 years old. You still trying to grow up and find life. You still trying to figure out life. What we talking about here? So before he passed away, his early years, 18, 19, 20, and all that, he was bouncing around. He was in New York, Baltimore. He was all over the place. Tupac is a West Coast nigga, hands down, man. Hands down, West Coast nigga. Let's continue, though, man.
About New York when they think about Tupac. It's always LA and the West Coast. I just know Tupac is rolling in his grave right now watching y'all disrespect him. After he carried y'all for 30 plus years on his back, even in death, he carried you. After he made the West Coast a mecca in hip hop, y'all gonna disrespect him like that? Yeah. Tupac fixing to haunt Kendrick Lamar from the grave. Talk about reincarnate. Yeah, Kendrick. Yeah, somebody getting reincarnated. Do y'all see what's going on here? Like, hip hop is honestly cooked. All integrity in hip hop is gone out the window. It's gone. These people are simply paid opinions. This isn't really how they feel. But because someone cut a check, they say whatever they're told. We all know out of the West Coast, Tupac is the best rapper that they've ever seen. Tupac is the best artist that they've ever seen. Kendrick Lamar can't even stand next to Tupac. But yet, this is the list they gave you all.
Yo, Complex, man. Y'all disrespectful. Y'all really are. I'm gonna keep it real. And she absolutely right. And I want to hear y'all opinion on that. That Kendrick can't even stand next to Tupac, yo. When we talk about Pac, we talking about we talking about ladies loved them, the homies loved them, homies in prison. I mean, everybody loved Pac. He had everybody. He had all angles. See, when hip hop, it ain't all about your bars. It ain't all about your who could rap the best. It's all about what you could impress out there. It's all about what you could grab out there. What type of fans you could grab. Can you get the nerdy kids? Can you get the suburb kids? Can you get the college kids? Can you get the street niggas? Can you get the ladies? Can you get the hood ladies? Can you get the ladies that got careers and they still listen to your music after they leave their office and they bumping your music on the way home? Tupac had all them goddamn type of fans. He even had Caucasian people, suit and ties, coming out of work from a hard day at work, taking their tie off, going in goddamn car, pop that Tupac in. Am I lying? I sit back and wait on that. You got Chinese people. Tupac is not saying Kendrick is not international now. But as far as a Tupac level, nah. Kendrick, God forbid. Kendrick could be gone tomorrow. They're not gonna bump Kendrick Lamar albums, songs like they bumping 30 years later, like we play Tupac music. When we going through rough times, sometimes I go back and listen to my boy, All Eyes on Me. What we talking about here, man? Tupac gave you that pain music. He gave you that, nigga, put your chin up, nigga. You're gonna get over this shit. That's the type of music that Tupac gave us. Just talking about it, I got goosebumps right now, and I'm not even lying. Goosebumps right now, just talking about the homie. May him rest in peace. Because that's the type of music Tupac gave us. The ladies, when y'all going through struggles and all that, Tupac had music for y'all also. Am I lying? No way in the world you could compare Kendrick Lamar or Snoop Dogg or any one of them niggas to Tupac. Snoop even said, man, that man was on a different level, man. Snoop even said it. When that nigga landed over there in Dr. Dre Studios, Death Row Studios, man, we never seen no Tupac like this in our life, man. That man switched his whole style, whole game, everything. The disrespect they did for Tupac is crazy. But I'm gonna let you hear Pac out of his own mouth what he really repping, what coast that he really rep, if anything. It's that West Coast. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, man.
New York, I always learned about flavor and different shit like that. Not to diss New York, I learned a lot, but I never knew the game. I never learned the game. And when I went to Baltimore, I didn't learn the game. Nobody ever took the time to show me the game. When I got to Oakland, that's when I learned the game. The game, it's not in one person. The game is just in. It's in me. It was in me. Somebody just awoke it. Somebody just woke it up inside me. You know what I'm saying? Like a religion. And I just saw it. And I saw it in Oakland. I saw it living in Oakland. I saw it thriving in Oakland. So I give all my love to Oakland. If I'm going to claim somewhere, I'm going to claim Oakland.
Need I say more before I get out of here? I just wanted to play that last clip before I get out of here. Oh, let me play it again one more time for the people that's gonna say Tupac or Complex are disrespecting Tupac. He ain't from the West Coast and he don't claim. What? What? Let's go back one more time, coming out the homie mouth. Pause. Rest in peace to Pac, man.
New York, I always learned about flavor and different shit like that. Not to diss New York, I learned a lot, but I never knew the game. I never learned the game. And when I went to Baltimore, I didn't learn the game. Nobody ever took the time to show me the game. When I got to Oakland, that's when I learned the game. The game, it's not in one person. The game is just in. It's in me. It was in me. Somebody just awoke it. Somebody just woke it up inside me. You know what I'm saying? Like a religion. And I just saw it. And I saw it in Oakland. I saw it living in Oakland. I saw it thriving in Oakland. So I give all my love to Oakland. If I'm going to claim somewhere, I'm going to claim Oakland.
He didn't say New York. He didn't say Baltimore. What did he say? West Coast, Oakland, Bay Area. Shout out to the Bay Area. Shout out to Oakland, man. Shout out to everybody in the Bay Area if y'all watch my channel, man. What we talking about here? I had to do a video about this because the disrespect they did is just ridiculous. And I was gonna do this a while back, but you know we got distracted with the Diddy shit and all that crap. But let's cut the shenanigans out. Stop disrespecting the legend that put that shit on his back and bled for that shit and died for that shit over there in the West Coast. Let's cut it out. That man repped the West Coast in LA to the day he died, man. And that's the only music we hear when we talk about Tupac is that West Coast Tupac. We ain't talking about no East Coast Tupac or rapper. No, we ain't talking about that. If anything, we think about the actor Tupac before I get out of here from the West, from the East Coast. We don't think about the rapper Tupac in the East Coast. That's why he wasn't on that goddamn New York list. There's no classics. There's no hits. I don't even play no songs that he when he was out here in New York in the early 90s. Every song I play is the West Coast Tupac. Every last one of them. Till then, I want to hear y'all smoke, hear y'all comment. Give me y'all smoke about Complex disrespecting Tupac on the top 50 West Coast best rappers. Why he ain't on that list is bugged out to me. I don't understand. They disrespecting the legend. But till then, I'm up out there. On to the next video. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Give me y'all smoke. Give me y'all commenting below. Rest in peace to Pop. Rest in peace to Big, man. Rest in peace to Nick, man. Just disrespectful for a legend. It's crazy, man. I'm out here. If they know, they know. It's your boy Smoke News TV. Salute, gang. I'm out.